All right, very simple question.
Right.
What does a DJ world need?
What it needs specifically, a DJ booth, lights, and people dancing. Honestly.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some funky tunes.
I have a group in VRChat called Derafog. We've run several DJ events in the past, but every time we do, there is one major problem. Where the hell do you do it? Do you do it in the maps open to the public? By looking up DJ in the worlds list and going through them all till you find one that fits the vibe you want? Do you ask existing DJ events if you can use their private worlds, getting access to whatever system they use to keep it private? Or do you make your own map to fit what you want? Previously, we did the first one, which took hours and days until we found some maps that we actually liked that were public for use. Now, it's time for the last one. But making a world in VRChat is a huge process. And when you first try to learn how you should approach it, there is little to no documentation on how to go about it. Everything you will find is years old and many times outdated. What I did was what everyone should do when approaching these types of projects. I made a list of things that I knew I had to do and separated the project into segments. And the first thing was ideas, baby.
We need a big underground space, like a parking lot with pillars, then a DJ deck in the middle, speakers all around.
We need lights too. Sofas.
We can do a Magoober stand.
Entrance hallway. Shipping containers. Bean bags.
Some cars. Maybe like 2 cars. Some garbage bins. I mean, it's a decent idea. It does kind of look shit like this, though.
Maybe this isn't the best way to brainstorm how you want your map to be, but physically drawing things out has always been the best way for me to visualize what I want to come out of things. I know some people use AI to get inspiration, some just have it in their head, others make whole drafts of how things could be. This is what I do. And now with the idea of the map drawn out, I had a list of things I wanted to create for the map. This is all supposed to be from scratch, so I needed to make what I could in some 3D creation software. I'm not completely inexperienced in map creation. I lied, I know. I've made 2 maps in the past using the Unity add-on Pro Builder. In fact, I roughly placed together exactly what we drew to get a sense for scale using Pro Builder.
Yo, MC Goob, MC Goob, whoa, whoa.
I'm just a random ass guy in the background.
Whoa. Yo, listen to this next
It kind of works. I like it.
track, guys. Yeah.
So the next step, of course, is to make the props in Blender.
DJ World needs a DJ set, right? And it needs good atmosphere, actually. Like, in the way the room is presented. But mostly, it just needs a good vibe to it.
You know, I'm not super experienced with Blender. I mean, I've used it before. The VRChat Atlas was entirely done in Blender. It's just a bunch of spheres in a scene. And luckily, of course, I've done the donut tutorial before. 3 times. So when I went in to make stuff in Blender, I started with what I thought would be the most simple, the most straightforward thing in there. They're all right. I mean, they look like speakers, which is important because some of the things I made didn't work out and I scrapped. Let me explain what it's like to make a bunch of objects in Blender with as little experience as I have. 1, you make mistakes, a lot of them, and most of your time is spent fixing those mistakes. 2, you get distracted, and for me, that meant I forgot to record making a lot of these things. And 3, it's actually kind of fun. I would sit down, put on some music, and just make stuff while vibing out. The speakers, sofa, shipping containers, these plastic chairs I hated and deleted in the end, the Magoober stand, these wooden wire coil things, a plastic table, pallets, bean bags, the garbage bins. I made a bunch of things. And what I couldn't make, I found for free online. Throughout the process as well, I would throw the objects into a scene occasionally and upload to get a feel of how things will be. And may I say, I think it's all right. We were getting there. And after organizing everything inside a Blender scene and throwing a few more things in, like wires from the DJ deck to the speakers for immersion, I think we got a really good start.
Honestly, the DJ room or the place where the DJ is playing itself doesn't need to be that big. Medium size, big enough to fit about, let's say, like 40 people comfortably. Like they have their own space to dance so they're not bumping into each other.
With everything put together now, there's still these gray objects in the world. They don't have any color, any texture, so we gotta texture them. But how do you texture a 3D asset? From what I've learned, there's two things you can do. One is just have a solid color material and call it a day. But if you have something that requires more detail, you need an external program to help you make a texture that maps onto your asset using its UV map. And in order to do all of that, some people would use something like Substance Painter to draw details on a 3D object. I learned that by interviewing all those world and avatar creators ages ago. Substance costs basically your entire retirement fund, so I didn't buy it. Instead, what I did is what any reasonable person would do. I Googled Substance Painter alternative, Reddit, and I found Quixel Mixer, which is owned by Epic Games. It works, and I used it. You import an FBX, you use whatever preset materials they got, scale it to your liking, and then draw whatever details you need. That's what I did. Not great, but it's acceptable. And acceptable is what we're going for here. Because this is, I don't know what I'm doing. Texturing objects in the world is probably the second most important step in giving a world substance, making it look and feel like it's real. Things don't need to be too detailed. In fact, most of the time a solid color throughout will look better than trying to add detail to something and failing horribly because you don't know what the hell you're doing. I got almost everything sorted in the texture department. In fact, I also did a little more on the entrance wall in relation to graffiti. But before we move on to that, I want you to look at the floor. See those puddles? They are a very important point of contention for me. Let's talk shaders. When making a world, you have materials that get placed on objects to give that object its look. You can use the default shaders to do so, and that's fine. But you could alternatively use custom-built shaders specifically for VRChat. Poyomi, which you might already be familiar with through avatars, has a worlds version, but there's others. And I used Mochi just for the puddles. You can add a puddle with a puddle map showing where those puddles will appear, and I did that, and they look great. For now, I just want you to be aware of them, because they come up later when I fail miserably at lighting. I'm not the only person in my friend group working on making some community maps. My friend Longa has made this map, Lake Rock, and in it, he used to have a large, empty wall. And after a little bit of discussion, we decided he should add graffiti to that wall, and it looked great. Because it looked so great, I wanted to do the same. So I put out a message in my Discord for graffiti to add on the wall, and my community delivered. Thank you so much, guys, honestly. The graffiti looks great, especially my graffiti, made by my good friend Maxi for the New Year's World and shafted into oblivion because it's the same color of the wall and compressed to shit. Our wall here is better. Most of these are actually graffiti style, unlike the sticker mess in the New Year's world, and they look great. I'm just really salty about the New Year's world, alright?
Thinking so hard. I would say you need multiple sections so that everyone is cramped on top of each other at all times.
Oh my god. Bro, this would be the most popular spot.
Let me cover a couple things I missed. I added blankets around the map, which you might have seen, and the way to add them is a lot easier than I initially thought. It's the same way I added the beanbags, the cushions of the sofas, and the trash bags in the world, cloth physics. Subdivide an object, add cloth physics, collision, and drop it. Once it's in place, you can adjust as needed, like solidifying the blankets. I think it looks great. I also listened to my friend's advice and added this path up to the top of the shipping containers. A place to observe those below and get a little bit away from the crowd. Then I bought some lights, Noriben light bars, and scattered them around the map. Lighting could be said to be the core of what a DJ map is. When you think of a rave, when you're thinking of a club, you think of those flashing lights everywhere. And when it comes to VR, there are a few ways to do that. Every single one of them includes audio link. Audio link works in magical ways. A little wizard appears via Discord call and whispers in your ear, telling you how everything works in extreme detail. You ignore basically everything they say and just fiddle with stuff in-game by dragging stuff around. And before you know it, you have something that lights up while certain audio channels are active, as it's linked to a video player you dragged into the scene way earlier. That's audio link. You'll figure it out.
I don't think people really care about lights, but I think it just gives the place more intensity, I guess, or more oomph to their music when lights are going with the music as well.
I may have added these pre-built lights in the form of light bars, but that can't be your only form of lighting. You need to be able to see in the world, and then audio link will light up more as the music starts playing. My solution to this was fluorescent lights in the entrance hallway and lanterns throughout the main room. Each one of these, I put a baked point light in, and that was my lighting. 2 spotlights behind the DJ deck shining on the dance floor, and 2 shining behind the video player, making it almost look like a hologram. But I'm stupid, so I had baked lights everywhere, yes, but if that was all I had, my puddles would look terrible, because I just couldn't figure out the settings. Remember, the puddles are a point of contention, and this is where the contention is. I wanted them to work, and the only way I could figure out how to make them work was using real-time lights. So what I did was I put real-time lights with the baked lights, which can work if you're good at it. I'm not. I was prepared to end it here, not do anything more and just run the event like this. But 2 things changed that. VRC Light Volumes was released, and maps started to update using them. I wanted to incorporate it, and 2, I got contacted with an offer for help. When I put out a message in my Discord for graffiti, somebody in there by the name of Reava offered to assist with anything I might need, because they have lots of experience making DJ maps. Immediately, I took them up on that offer, and several days later, we got in a call. I streamed my Unity to them, and we started revamping things.
To me, a DJ world needs some atmosphere.
Little fixes here and there, ways to get better frame rate, adjustments to bakery settings, bakery being a program I bought to bake my lights faster, changes to materials. Materials was a big one that took hours to fix. Audio link, video player,
fixing my reflection probe, adding VRC light volumes. So many little things I can't even remember. We spent close to 6 hours in a call together the first night, trying to cover as much as we could, and we weren't even halfway done. The next day we got into some of the fun stuff, additive light volumes. I guess I should explain what light volumes are in order to get into what additive light volumes are. Light volumes allow baked lights to mimic real-time lights. That's what it is, put simply. So if you go in a dark area, your avatar will be dark. If you go in light, it'll be light. Colors can be reflected in your avatar as well. So if it's a blue light, you got blue skin. This means things are a lot more immersive. Additive light volumes are those placed on top of those original light volumes. In my case, it's a light map that is linked to the light bars and speakers that have audio link. Reava helped me set this up because I'm not very educated on it, but the end product lets you light up the world and avatars when those lights get activated by the specific audio channels. We also made an additive light for the video player, meaning the video player also lights up the room. Really cool, really nice. And my puddles don't look as as they did before. Fog was also added, as well as some toggles for people who need it. Because while all of this is really cool, it's not the most optimized thing in the world, especially the fog, which is why I have it toggled off by default. Me and Reava spent 3 days figuring things out together and getting a final product ready for the event. And after those 3 days, the world was ready. And there were only 2 things left for me to do. 1, get everyone on board and announce the event, which I did. And 2, get an avatar that people could use if they didn't have a good quality avatar ready for the event. And that's where things almost fell apart.
I wanted an avatar that 1, worked with VRC light volumes, and 2, was good rated, and 3, wasn't looking. A big problem when you host these kind of events, for people like me, without the best PC, is you can't show people that you lag out. You want to show people so you can see them so everything looks good. If this was just an event, just a normal event, and anyone could join and listen to the music casually, I don't give a about avatars. It would be like any public world, any public lobby, where everybody's just using their own thing. Manage your own safety settings, and you'll be all right. But because it's for recording, because I'm recording and want everybody to be looking good, they need to be optimized so I can show everybody. Previous events, it's been an absolute pain getting people to get into good rated avatars, because a lot of the time, they just don't have any saved. So if there is one available at spawn, then that simplifies things a lot, because then we can just say, hey, if you don't have one, there's one at spawn, go use it. Smile.
Hey, I'm behind the bar. What do you mean?
I went into a call one day in a server that I share with a bunch of quote unquote creator friends. Creator in quotes, not friends, that I'm realizing. Went into call with a bunch of quote unquote creator friends and asked if anyone had any avatars that I could potentially use. And Cam, who I interviewed for the last video, said yes. He'd let me use his new avatar that's on the VRC marketplace now as an avatar for this event. But he wanted it to be limited to just this world. How would he do this? I don't know, that's wizard. At the time of me asking also, this is on me for not giving enough leeway. There wasn't a whole lot of time left to figure out how to make that work. So whatever magic wizard that he could do to make it work, it would have to work fast. How do you make an avatar usable in only one world? He had plenty of ideas. We tried them. Some worked, some didn't. All of them had problems. One made everyone spin in circles constantly while gravity seemingly shut off. I'm telling you, wizard shit. Another one made ghost people appear in front of the instance host every time somebody loaded in the world. That's not ideal, especially when you have to record shit. We were limited on time. The event was coming up, and I felt so useless just waiting, sitting, hoping somebody else would come up with a solution that I can shove in the world and have just work. The day of the event came, time ticked on. We tried one thing, didn't work. 3 hours to the event. Tried another one, didn't work. Broke the map. 2 hours to the event. Tried another, worked, but not well. That was the ghost thing. Can't record with that. 1 hour to the event. Tried another thing, same issues. Nothing's changed. 30 minutes to the event. I think I've got a solution, he says. He has some people who really know Udon. I can get it done, but I'm not sure we have enough time. So preemptively, I remove the avatar unlocker from my world just in case. So updating the world takes like 10 minutes each time. 15 minutes left till the event. I'm stressed out of my mind. The world's done. Me and Reava finished it days prior. But this avatar was broken. Wouldn't let us use it only in this world, and we don't have time. We make the call. Make the avatar public during the course of the event and private it later so people don't keep it. You know, it's supposed to be a paid avatar. It wouldn't be fair if other people get it for free when they paid for it. 8 minutes to the event. I get in VR.
Does this work?
Me and Youngies are ready to host the instance. Start the event.
No.
But Cam can't upload anything. Can't update the avatar to make it public. He keeps getting timed out. So now I have a broken avatar pedestal, and I have constantly told people, hey, if you don't have an avatar, we're gonna have a pedestal ready for you. Use this one. There's a big sign pointing at it saying, hey, use this. But it's broken. You click on the avatar and you are invisible when you look down at yourself. That's unacceptable. 3 minutes to the event. Still can't upload anything. Cam messages me that he's just gonna keep trying until it gets through. Other creators are also having the same issue. Nobody can upload anything right now, but I needed to start the event. Okay. No avatar then. It's too late to change the world. Too late to change anything.
Just send out a announcement or something. It's like, hey, just don't use the thing. It's bugged.
I open the instance. We get our first DJ in, Friendship. And I put out a message saying, event open, avatar at spawn broke, use your own avatars. The stress of just not having things be perfect, having an expectation of something and it doesn't come to fruition, it sucks. Luckily, people figured things out. They read the message, didn't use the avatar. But we put the stream link in, music started, people started showing up. The event went all right. I mean, it wasn't Kanye venting with auto-tune on level of spectacle, but we had a good time. Music was really good. Friendship, Hesse, Yum Yum Cat Buns. Thank you so much for being willing to perform at my Scuffed Random event. And the people who came as well, thank you for showing up. I kind of skipped over it because I don't do this part personally. I offboard it to Youngies because he's the rave guy. But finding DJs is a process that can be hard, yet not hard. It's not hard to find DJs, but I'm sorry if this sounds mean. It is hard to find DJs who do good music. Good being subjective to me personally. But these DJs I do like. Thank you, Youngies, for getting everyone together.
What, dude? You hadn't had a name. I'd be laughing my
Our battery as you're
I gotta get that.
Oh yeah, see, there you go.
The map, I think, turned out pretty good. It's a bit scuffed in places. The scaling, for one, could definitely be better. I think when you make a map, you should really take scaling into consideration from stage 1, constantly comparing things to the height of people's typical avatars. I kind of half-assed it. The other things would definitely be the entrance should be longer, and the lights should have had more care put into them. This is a DJ world, and a big aspect of DJ worlds is the lighting, and especially the audio link. So from the design portion, stage 1,
you should really take into consideration what lights up at what moments and how things interact with one another. I kind of left it till the end. The only lights I knew I wanted was the 2 spotlights. Those are small things that have a big impact on the overall feel. Making these maps takes a lot of time and effort and energy, and I have infinite appreciation towards the people who do these kind of events regularly and have multiple maps made for them. Outside of that though, I'm kind of proud of it. The Magoober stand that's been taken over, the Dara Aid can made by my friend Sunken, the various graffiti submitted by my community. It all came together to be a really cool little culmination of what Daracore is. And it really has marked the start of me being able to make something more with worlds in the future. It's not super optimized, that's the other thing about this world, but it doesn't really need to be. This isn't meant to be something that I host events in all the time. This was a one-off thing, and I learned a lot. That's what's important. You know, I've said this in the past, but when it comes to content creation around VRChat, worlds are the core of potential. With worlds, you can do so much more around events and games and sets for whatever your content needs are. This experience will help me on future projects. It's been fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out. And thanks for sticking around. That's supposed to be me.
That's what I thought, but you're here. But
Different people.
that's Derafog.
Yeah, that's Daracore.
And that's Derafog.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm following.
Yeah.
Is it like made of lemons? Is that why it's all drippy? I think.
Well, I mean, you like the cheese drippy, bruh.